All right, with WrestleMania 40 rapidly approaching and this whole Cody Roman Rock debacle being the talk of the town, Larson.
Yeah.
It's only fitting that we reach out to the Friendos and get some of their searing hot takes. But to kick us off, I have myself a hot Roman Cody Rock take. Do you want to hear it?
Okay.
This is sizzling. This is super hot.
How hot?
I just want all these guys to have fun. Oh my God, that's so hot. Nobody can handle my heat. Especially those other guys.
Fun, you say. Hey, let's have some fun with these Friendo hot takes. What do you say?
I think that's a great take right there.
What do you say? Gosh, this show really just highlights how terrible my eyesight is.
You're going to be like that homeboy at the bar the other night when he had a magnifying glass for his phone.
I think this says the Zackinator.
Okay.
Says, I personally feel that Cody doesn't necessarily need to finish the story at WrestleMania. Always felt that way. So I have no problem with The Rock facing Roman. I don't think Cody necessarily has to finish the story at WrestleMania either. That's not the issue. The issue is that Cody won the Rumble.
Yeah.
And then says, all right, Rock, go ahead.
He could have just sat out the Rumble. Let somebody else win it. And then they can deal with The Rock showing up.
Or that person who wins the Rumble could challenge Seth instead.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Worry about who faces Roman at a later date, like Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Like, I don't think that it necessarily needs to be WrestleMania. I like the idea of somebody put it out there. I think it was X3 put it out there on Twitter, who's a terrific follow and a terrific Twitch streamer.
Yes,
he said something along the lines of they've got this network deal for 4 network specials. What if you pony up for the Madison Square Garden setup and then you do the Finish the Story special event on NBC?
Yeah.
And it's like, Cody wins it there.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. He won the Rumble. The Rumble is the WrestleMania thing.
Why would he just willingly give that up?
Yeah, man. I mean, we need it to make sense.
We need it to make sense.
Makes sense. Let's see here. Next up, nobody BP5WH says people would love Rock versus Roman if it happened literally any other way. It's not lack of interest. They were more invested in Cody, which makes sense because there is no build for Rock Roman other than a gassed 52-year-old man heaving something about the head of the table into a microphone at day one.
Yeah, really, the crux of this whole thing is Cody winning the Rumble. If Cody had won the Rumble, I don't think there'd be as many upset fans, about this. It's just Cody had what he needed to get what he wanted to finish the story, and then
pointed at Roman Reigns.
Says, I want you.
Honestly, there was like him stepping aside for The Rock after winning the Rumble.
That's
the big issue is. But I think I think that a lot of the fans that are crowing right now about it, I think they totally would have been cool with it. I mean, look, there's going to be some segment of people who, if Cody hadn't won the Rumble this year, and let's say they did the thing where The Rock shows up at 30, Cody was eliminated 30 minutes prior or whatever by whoever his obvious WrestleMania opponent would be. I still think there'd be some amount of people that are like, oh man, now we got to wait another year for this story. I think that's going to exist. But I don't think there'd be nearly as much of the controversy that we're seeing now with the hashtag and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Maybe it's a thing that WWE wanted to do, and it was planned from the get-go. And, of course, tomorrow, because I'm going to try to put this up on whatever today is, Wednesday. Maybe tomorrow at that Las Vegas press event, we'll get a lot more info.
Exactly. Tucker McPeak. Speaking about what you just said, if anybody remembers The Rock's interview a while back talking about Rock versus Roman, he said they wanted to do a story that has never occurred before in wrestling with Triple H at the helm, who's very familiar with how things are perceived. I believe they are playing a very deep and intricate game where we see the end of Roman's reign by Cody in the most exciting way possible without it being a simple WrestleMania rematch where the babyface overcomes and conquers. This will be the best story that has ever come out of WWE.
So, I'd like to think that because the whole thing is Rock, according to reports, Rock came in January 1st or 3rd or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And cut this deal to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania as part of his TKO board of directors thing. And so, they had to and I hope that's the sort of thing where he came in and Triple H and maybe Brian Gewirtz or Rock's people, whoever, were like, hey, hey,
Hey.
we got this great idea for something that'll just blow up Cody Rhodes, make him huge, and it's going to be something unlike we've ever seen. I'd love to think that. I'm pessimistic that that's the deal.
Yeah.
But I'd love to think that that's the case. Maybe by the end we'll be surprised. I mean, look, you can't. Rock and Triple H, they've always been close.
Yeah.
I mean, except for the time that him and HBK were trying to politic Rock out of WrestleMania, which let's see here. They're one of these here speculated that as far as like conspiracy theory. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
Atticus says, I think Rock might be sabotaging WWE as revenge for the way Triple H and HBK treated him in the past. Of course, back then, a lot of sharks.
Yeah.
You know, and from what I think I remember reading something about like HBK and Triple H are trying to keep him away from like the Mania 15 main event.
Yeah.
Getting in Vince's ear, saying he's not ready, he's not the guy. And what are you guys talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
You know, and then, you know, Mrs. Hart's like, I know you did that, Triple H. He's like,
Triple H goes, I didn't know anything.
I didn't know anything.
Elemental Giant here says CM Punk should be the one to talk sense into Cody, as he had his Mania spot taken by The Rock previously.
Did you watch the machinimated Ace of Steel?
I haven't seen the new one yet, no.
So they have got CM Punk miming the words of Ace Steel.
Interesting. From the Dynamite?
The Dynamite.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. And then they toss some like Rocky stuff in there too. It's pretty funny. Let's see here.
I'll have to watch that.
Oh, wow. Listen to this diabetic man. Says The Rock is going to go down as one of the most notorious backstage politicers like Hulk Hogan because of this.
Well, let's see how this plays out before we make those leaps.
Well, I think that's what he's saying. He's saying by the time, this is his prediction, by the time
Oh,
all
prediction?
is said and done, people are going to look at, man, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, like, his entire career in wrestling was that. I don't feel like that's the case with The Rock. I don't think you can look at one instance and be like, hey, this is
he's in the backstage politic and Hall of Fame.
Right. Like Rock, at the end of the day, I don't think he cares that much about having the WWE title. I think he's got grander plans, bigger ambitions.
Exactly. But yeah, Hogan's career is like this type of scenario. If it plays out, it's just going to be Roman Rock at Mania. Like over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, yeah, it's a long way to go before The Rock in terms of backstage politics can be compared to Hogan.
Yeah, Hogan made a whole career of it. JMC says, I think everything about how crap The Rock stealing the story has already been said, but just want to say, since it came up in Roman's promo, I'm so sick of every insult towards Seth being about his wife. You never hear anyone try and use Seth being Becky's husband as an insult towards her. Just makes it seem like it's somehow insulting a woman that's successful. Seth should be like, yeah, my wife's awesome. What's your point? So, like, Roman in his promo more brought up, like, Seth's clothing, his attire.
Yes.
As it being more feminine, I guess.
Yeah.
Belonging to his wife. Look, it's a cheap knock, but that's the character of Roman Reigns. He's like that fake laugh. It's actually a pretty brilliant performance in that his insecurities inform his insults. And what lower, like more insecure insult can you throw at somebody than you dress up in your wife's clothing? I get it. I'm fine with that. I don't think it's really used all that often, to be honest.
I could have done without that particular line in this promo, honestly.
Help support Friendo Club by going to patreon.com/Steven Larson or clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson. Access to bonus episodes, question threads for the Going In Raw podcast, and entry to our monthly wrestling predictions challenges. Join the Friendo Club today.
John Charles O'Rourke here says WB playing with people's heads, and this is all elaborate work where Cody is going to turn up in TNA.
What?
And refuse to go back until they make it right.
Yeah, I don't like this at all.
Oh, it's not going to happen.
No, I know. I don't think John here actually. I'd like to think John doesn't think it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah. Totally.
But if it happened, it'd be wild. Would we have to go back to doing weekly TNA?
We would.
We'd have to,
We'd
right?
start watching TNA again, of course. If Cody was there, yeah.
Dude, we'd have to watch TNA now. Let's see here.
B. York here says they need to bring The Rock in as Hollywood Rock, saying he doesn't care about Cody's story. Really lean into it.
I'll be honest with you. I would be so fucking down for that.
I would too.
I would be so down for that if he openly acknowledged, yeah, I came in here, I'm the big dog, I'm the real big dog.
Yeah.
And you know, your butt smells.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you know,
what's the butt smells thing from? You've been saying that recently.
I saw it on Twitter.
Oh,
somebody
all right.
was like, it was like the tweet where it was like Cody says something very elaborate in breaking down, you know, the Rock's dynasty and the Rhodes dynasty.
Yeah.
Whereas the counter to that, Rock would come in and be like, you know, Fruity Pebbles, your butt smells.
Yeah.
As much as we loved the one note, one dimensional LA Knight.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, LA Knight there are obvious elements of Rock's promo style in LA Knight. The Rock coming in with sunglasses and being that one-dimensional Hollywood Rock, I think would be hilarious.
That'd be pretty funny.
Especially with all the power he wields.
I know.
That would be hilarious. Because the thing about Cody Rhodes is that he can't respond in kind. He's not the kind of guy who would take the low road, which you kind of need for The Rock.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like, remember when Cena completely tore down The Rock?
Yeah.
I feel like The Rock just needed to lower himself back down to Hollywood Rock, one-dimensional Rock.
Yeah.
You know, to respond to that.
I know. Instead, he got Cryface.
Instead, Cena gave him Cryface kind of effortlessly.
Yeah, pretty much. Darius the Great says, I actually want to see Rock versus Roman happen just to see the Philly crowd tear it to shreds like Rumble 2015.
So this is actually a great point. That morbid curiosity element of like, man, they're going to go through with this. The crowd is going to hate on it. And it's going to completely hijack the show. It might go down in lore as like Brock versus Goldberg.
Yeah.
You know,
I've seen those
with
comparisons.
Austin. Yeah.
I've seen those comparisons. WrestleMania 20.
Yeah. I mean, part of me wouldn't. I do. You know, what I really just want is some really, really well told storytelling stuff.
Exactly.
You know, but I'm not opposed. Just don't make it boring. If you're going to go through with it, go all the way with it. And the crowd just needs to completely rip it to shreds.
Exactly.
I think that'd be fun.
Let's see.
Oh wow, here we go. Shattuck here has a sort of a similar but different point. Says The Rock versus Roman should have stayed as a dream match, as it's way too late in The Rock's career and age. The Rock's not as mobile as he used to be, and he apparently gets exhausted too quickly after doing a few moves. I feel like The Rock will understand what physical shape he needs.
Oh yeah,
to
he's
be
got
in.
time. He's got time.
He's got time.
He's got a couple
I
months
think he'll
yet.
be okay.
He'll be fine. Marvell here says, y'all said Cody needed adversity, right? Well, now we got it in an unexpected way, a la Daniel Bryan 10 years ago. Yep, seems that way, maybe.
It seems like it might be heading that way. Dr. Howie says, I feel that if they didn't do this, people were going to turn on Super Cody. Now the switch happened, and it's a blessing in disguise because Cody's over as Bryan with the yes movement. You know, man,
That's the way of looking at it.
It seems like they're taking a guy, and Marvell sort of echoed this in your previous one. They're taking a guy who so clearly is being groomed to be the face of the company. They're making basically the next John Cena, but also giving him the anti-authority rub, which is kind of crazy. That is pretty interesting.
It is. Patrick Cheeseman here says, hot take, the real money match is Priest versus Reigns with all faction members involved. Whose group
is superior?
I'm sorry to break it to you. Judgment Day's losing that one.
Yeah, I don't think Cheeseman's serious with that.
No, I don't think so either.
I kind of, yeah. We'll end on this positive note here. Sir Sketch Fourth says, drama-wise, Rock versus Roman is going to be a classic. If they tell this story properly, with all the weight and heft of like family drama, bloodline drama, I think it could be really, really good.
Yeah, if The Rock just doesn't say your butt smells.
Fruity Pebbles, your butt cheeks smell.
that would totally just destroy any drama that's going on. There's this intense promo back and forth.
Yeah.
And The Rock puts out his hand.
Let me ask you one question, Rudy Poo Candy Ass. Did you wipe your butt cheeks today?
Is it you that has the smelly bottom? And so the crowd starts chanting smelly bottom.
Yeah, let's all the people start chanting smelly bottom. Roman, do you like pie?
Yeah, I know. Oh my goodness.
Anyways, thanks guys for your hot takes. Join us today. Tomorrow we're going to do a live watch along of the Las Vegas thing.
We are.
So join us for that across both platforms, YouTube and Twitch.
Yes.
We'll see you guys. YouTube over at the other YouTube channel, the Stephen Larson one. This is the Friendo Club one.
Yeah.
We'll see you
no
guys.
streaming here. Bye.
Goodbye.